Ladies and gentlemen, Carolina Cobra fans of all ages, welcome to the Sunday Snakepit. This is our live stream where we're going to be talking about nothing but the Carolina Cobras here for the next 30, 45 minutes, depending how long we get going here. By myself this week, Gina is off to the beach, so hope that you're having a lot of fun down there. We'll be checking in later on, I'm sure. Got a lot of fun stuff going on today. We're going to take a look back at the most recent game last night of the Carolina Cobras against the San Antonio Gunslingers. Break that down a little bit here. Take a look at our Sunday Snake Pit sit-down Cobra interview, which is this week it's DJ Myers. So it's going to be a fun one. I like DJ. He's a great guy. Stick around. We're going to do a live giveaway later of a set of tickets for the upcoming home game. We'll get all that out of the way. But first, want to remind you to subscribe to the Carolina Cobras YouTube channel here. You'll never miss an opportunity to join in on the conversation or just see some of the great content we're putting out that doesn't really, go into the live streams. Like I said, all those are, all the live games are done on the National Arena League YouTube channel. So like I said, there's other opportunities for the Cobras to have content here, a little bit of bonus stuff for you guys. So make sure you subscribe to that and check it out. So like I said, you'll never miss any of this. You can always go back and rewatch previous episodes. So like I said, that's the basis of it here. We're going to look at the last game for the Cobras. That was against the San Antonio Gunslingers last night. Kind of a tough one to watch by the end. It's kind of a toe-to-toe type game. But, you see the replay there up in your corner of your screen. But again, about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. After a touchdown, Jonathan Bain performing his place kicking duty, holding duties for TC Stevens, and the snap goes a little high, and Bain jumps up to try to salvage the play there a little bit and gets kind of folded up on that block kick attempt, and it's a freak moment, takes him out of the game. I know on the next couple camera shots you could see him kind of just writhing in pain on the side there of the field, and it's bad, but I'm not sure any extent of what injury that is. But again, that kind of just that throws everything out of whack immediately. James Summers, he comes in and plays his quarterback for the rest of the game there, the last 10 plus minutes. And that's never an easy transition to make. Especially, when it's a close game and, every single pass counts. That's tough. That's tough to do. But, he comes in, does the best he can with working with that type of situation, being, having it thrust upon him. We see him run the QB keeper numerous times there. It kind of stands to reason, but it doesn't necessarily it doesn't come up the way that Carolina wants to have. He does force overtime. Carolina forces overtime and decides, we need to go for the 2-point conversion, and that's where it ends. That kind of dies out right there. The defense did their job. They held up. Like I said, got to stop right there to make sure that Carolina had an opportunity to win this game. And it just goes down to literally the 2-point conversion being inches away from the end zone, and Carolina loses this one 60-61. Looking back through some of these stats here, like I said, Jonathan Bain, before he went out of the game, 4 touchdown passes on 18 attempts. James Summers comes in, like I said, he's a 50% completion guy. Gets the 4 for 8. No touchdown passes thrown there. Zach Brown getting his rushing touchdown in, though. And like I said, just Carolina coming up a little short in this one. Super unfortunate. And one of the things I think around the league, a lot of people are looking at this, I don't want to say wrong. Of course, it's always they're entitled to their opinion about it. But I think a lot of the other fan bases are looking at it as, wow, San Antonio, they're on a 3-game streak now. They just took down the number 1 team in the league. And, it's all, the downfall of Carolina type thing. I I think that's really not the way to look at it. It's not really the harrowing loss that everyone else thinks it is, but we'll look at that a little bit later on. But I think the main thing right now we want to say is um, our thoughts and prayers are with Jonathan Bain on a speedy recovery to whatever extent may be required for him to get back into the game. And I know he's very passionate about playing, so like I said, every minute he's out, he's thinking about that. So we're gonna take a look around the league here and see what's going on. Otherwise, like I said, so we had another game. Jacksonville, they win their game 56-28 over the Predators. That lovely in-state rivalry that they seem to think so highly of and enjoy that. Columbus is playing at Albany today, but this will be at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So you can catch that game shortly after this broadcast ends. So like I said, nothing to bring up there. But it's going to be a good one. Again, I think for the sake of right now, the window we're coming down to playoffs being a factor, I think every Carolina fan needs to kind of be pulling for Albany today, even though that's a monumental task, I think, for them to be playing the Lions at this point. But again, Carolina fans, they need Albany. They need the help. Every little bit can help them out here. Current standings, as of right now, you've probably seen them across the ticker. They're not entirely accurate. I think the NAL website has not been updated due to the fact that there's a game that's going to be going on later today. But as of right now, Carolina sits still atop the league, 7-3. The Lions are closing that gap and in second place right now, 4-3. That may change later today, and maybe 5-3. They may be 4-4. Again, like I said, Albany is in third place, so we're going to need a little bit of help here today. They're 4-4 still right now. Again, with a game to play today. Jacksonville 500, 5-5 after the win over the Predators. The Gunslingers now moved to 3-5 as they've won their last three, including the game last night against Carolina, while the Predators slipped to 3-6 after their loss. So that's the breakdown of the entire league right now. It's very interesting to me, though, like I said, that this is, like I said, a lot of people are worried. I think, right now, the Gunslingers are very reminiscent of that 2018 Maine Mammoths team. That's the first thing I think about too, where the team had a lot of struggles early on, but come down to this type of part of the season, past 10 weeks, like I said, they've not really been much of a factor. They're finally getting some wins under their belt, but they could really impact the way, not even if they get into the playoffs, but really just the way the playoffs are shaped if they keep winning, looking down their schedule. So we're going to take a look here and see. All right, we're rolling right along. I think we're going to go ahead and go straight into our sit-down interview with DJ Myers. Again, this is kind of funny. Like I said, he's such a consummate professional. Like I said, he was, I'll give you the background, is that we were at practice for the Cobras, and honestly, he was worried about missing practice to do this interview. So it's like, I think he was like, yeah, I got to hurry up and get back. Like he had to go do all of his warm up stretches and everything else before he would do the interview with me. So like I said, so it just kind of sticks to how professional he is. And I enjoy that about DJ. He's such a fun guy. Anyways, we'll send it over to that. And so we'll see you guys in a few after this. So this is DJ Myers.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with DJ Myers. DJ, good to have you here. You're actually the first Cobra that we're going to have on here that's not technically sitting down, even though we call it the Sunday sit down. So First thing, tell me, who is DJ Myers?
Cool. So, I'm DJ. This is my 4th year as a pro, but 3rd year being a pro because of the COVID year in the middle there. I'm from Woodbridge, Virginia, grew up in Virginia, went to junior college in Pennsylvania for 2 years, and then transferred to a big Division II school out in Texas called Midwestern State, and been a Texas boy since. So, for the past 6 years, I've been living in Austin, Texas, and I enjoy it out there. So, I'm looking forward to going back to San Antonio this week and playing some football in Texas.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. So, said you're from Virginia. What part?
I'm from Woodbridge, Virginia. Virginia.
So that's like close to Maryland, yeah?
Oh, yeah, about not far at all. About 20 miles outside of the nation's cap.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So, yeah, I got you. You went to Midwestern State. That's in Wichita Falls, right?
Yes,
so,
sir.
That's a big arena football place.
It is.
Like I said, used to have the Wichita Falls Nighthawks there.
Yes, sir.
In the IFL. And Will Pettis went to Midwestern State, so and he's in the Arena Football Hall of Fame now.
Yeah.
So Iron Man of the Year, like 2006 or 7, something like that. So
Yes, sir.
a lot of pedigree out there. So
For sure.
You knew that though?
No, I didn't know that.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
I knew Billy Back used to be the coach out there, and I go back with Billy. He used
Okay.
to
All right.
contact me out there.
So all right. So yeah, go back over the pro history. So yeah, last year, start off. So 2019 played with
Sure.
the Philadelphia Soul.
Sure, that was my rookie year. Yep.
Rookie year.
Rookie year with Philadelphia Soul. Played 6 games active, but was there the whole year. Was behind a whole bunch of good vets, learning as a rookie. You know, guys names Darius Prince, D Money Reynolds, Lonnie Outlaw, Aaron Washa. I mean, Jordan. Well, it was ridiculous.
There's a lot of talent
There
on
was
that
a
team.
lot of talent there. I'm used to playing with a lot of talent. You know, as a rookie, I just soaked it all up, and I just learned how to really get into the system.
Nothing wrong with that. And then we mentioned, so then you went to Orlando. Was that next? You stopped
Yep,
for you?
Yep. So then we had the COVID year after
Yeah,
that, and the
so-
AFL folded, and we went through a whole bunch of uncertainty there. But just stayed ready. Was training that entire year, and then got the opportunity to go to Orlando last year. And
Right. So you
yep,
played there. You had 67 receptions, 771 yards.
Yep.
Pretty good. Pretty solid number, 17 touchdowns. So.
I appreciate that. It was a big year, man, and it was a big year, and I had a chance to do some good things and show my athleticism and put me in a good position to come here this year. So it was really good.
Speaking of which, so what made you decide that Greensboro was where you wanted to be this year?
Well, it's closer to home, and it means a lot to me to have my family be able to just get in the car and come and see me play.
See your mom all the time at the
Oh,
game.
yeah. She used to fly to
She is your
Texas.
biggest fan, man.
Yeah,
I love that.
Make it easier on her for once in my career. 'Cause she's traveled all over the place for me, and just a great relationship with Rez in the free agency, man. And we had great conversations and a lot of mutual respect there, and it was the right decision, man. I felt it in my heart.
So far, what's been your favorite moment being a Cobra?
My favorite thing about being a Cobra is just how loaded we are, man. Like I'm not a selfish player. I'm not a me guy. I want talent around me. I want guys to help, and we have nothing but talent on this team, and it's so much fun to play with, compete with these guys, and learn from these guys every single day.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch on that in a minute, but so as a Cobra, so far you missed a couple of weeks with a lower body injury, but you're still, 428 yards on offense. You've got 7 touchdowns. Defensive, you got an interception last week actually,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes,
it's like
sir.
a little clip of that we got going. So that's fine. You guys are 7-2 right now, leading the league. What more could you ask for right now?
It feels great. We're doing everything we can, but we know that we haven't arrived yet. That's the scary thing about it is that, we're still learning, and we're in week 10 now, and we still have so much room for growth and potential. So we're excited about what's in front of us.
Now, there's one thing. Carolina has, and we were talking about it, spreading the ball around here. Carolina's got 6 receivers with 100-plus yards. They're the only team with that. And you look at every other team, it's maybe 3 guys. Some only have 1. So what's the secret to get Jonathan Bain to spread that ball around for you guys?
Jonathan wants to spread it around. He is ecstatic to have a core like this. It's never about 1 or 2 guys, and I learned that my rookie year in Philly, just being on a loaded team like that. So when me coming in here and having so much talent around me, it's not, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. If anything, I'm comfortable.
To make it, make it easier on you?
It makes it easier, way easier on me, and just not as far as, like actually playing the game, but as far as just, just the team camaraderie and everything that goes on around us. And
It's got to take some of the pressure off knowing that you don't have to make that play, that you've got your guys behind you that are going to help you out.
of course, and if my number's called, of course I'm gonna do my best to make that play, and I have all the confidence in myself.
You'll do the same for them.
and do the same for me. Exactly where I was going with that.
All right, gotcha. So, all right. So, recently you had a chance to join the XFL showcase. So, that's a big opportunity for you. And I just kind of want to know how do you balance that while still being 100% here in Carolina? You're on top of it here. You're there. How do you balance that kind of thing? 'Cause it's huge.
Hey, it's dream chasing, man. It's just part of the grind, and here in the arena leagues, but especially here in Carolina, they encourage us, man, to move up. They want us to move up. XFL, USFL, CFL, NFL. That's the ultimate goal. Nobody here is going to hold us back from that. Coach Rez has been nothing but supportive, and when I brought this to him, when I got the invite to the showcase, he was ecstatic for me, and Coach Fuller was ecstatic for me, and it just happened to fall on a Friday, which is our 1 day off here, so it was perfect. I didn't miss any time. I still practiced the entire week, and I just went out there and gave it my all.
Like you said, that's anything. That's why like I said, I work a lot in minor league hockey too, and it's the same way. You always want guys moving up. You don't, this isn't the goal,
Right.
Necessarily. So, it's nice to be here, and it's glad to have the opportunity. But yeah, there's always that next level. So.
Right. It's a stepping stone.
And nobody's ever. Yeah, like I said, no one's ever gonna hold that against you.
Right.
If anything else, I'm happy because I get to interview you now, and then when I see you playing in the NFL, I'll be like, yes.
I appreciate that, man.
That's the way I look at it, anyways.
Sir.
All right. So gonna move on to a couple questions about your teammates. Keep having to check this timer here, make sure we're good.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So, which one of your teammates is the funniest?
The funniest? Oh man, has to be Lance.
Lance? All
Lance is hilarious, but Chris Page too. Those two guys are the funniest on the team.
He does
for sure.
crack me up.
I just look at those guys and laugh, man. They're just funny guys, man.
All right. Who's the most serious?
Most serious. I don't know. People would say me, but I'm not the most
You.
serious.
That was what I said. Jonathan Bain said when he did
Yeah.
this with us. He said you were the most serious.
They say that, man, but they know that I'm full of love and passion, and just I take the game seriously, but not in like a mean way or a bad way.
That's the way you made it seem.
It's just how it goes. Yeah. So I
So
don't
is
know.
it you?
I'd say me. I'd say me, but actually, you know what? Rez.
Okay.
Rez is definitely the most serious.
That's
on the team.
fair. That's
if
fair.
you're asking for a player, it's me. But if it's coaches, Rez.
All right.
100%.
Who's the most hype on game day?
Most hype on game day. That's good. Probably ZB.
That was who I
Yeah.
figured. Honestly.
ZB is hype on game day for sure.
All right. Who do you want to see this do this interview next? Like I said, so far, Jonathan Bain's done it. Adam Smith, ZB did it.
Let's get. Let me look at my boys back here, man. Gotta get Kendrick Ings on here, man.
Ings,
Yeah, get
that's a
17
good
on
one.
Here and ask him some hard questions too.
Yeah, because see, when I was looking up the date, I was looking, like I said, you guys have 3 guys right now that have, I think it's over 300 yards in that receiving category. It's you, Kendrick Ings, and Lance Evans, I think. Like I said, I'm like, dang, it's good company.
Pick your poison.
So far, what's the local spot you found in Greensboro here that you like?
World of Beer. I mean, that's been our #1 spot, man.
Yeah.
And, shout out to World of Beer. Shout out to all of our sponsors, but a big shout out also to GSO and Healing Hands Chiropractic. Man, they take such good care of us. We're in there literally every day. We get banged up in arena football, man. We're not gonna act naive and act like we're not getting beat up out here. So to have partners like that and food and all those people is just amazing. And we really are appreciative.
We do watch the chiropractor guy like crack you guys like during pregame. It's like,
man.
oh,
It makes all the difference.
All right, looking good on my timer. So, all right, so, quick lightning round. All right,
Okay,
so
let's go.
who's your biggest football inspiration?
Say my mom.
All right.
She's my biggest fan.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Fruits or vegetables?
Fruit.
All right, car or truck?
Car.
What's the last song you listened to?
Last song I listened to, probably I Don't Know by Lil Durk.
Okay, what's worse, laundry or dishes?
Dishes.
Would you rather drive or be the passenger?
Drive.
All right, skydive or scuba dive?
Scuba.
All right, toilet paper, go over or under?
Over.
Really have a call or text?
Text.
What's the perfect pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
Just pepperoni?
I mean, yeah, pepperoni or 3 meat. That's it.
Okay, all right.
Sausage, bacon, pepperoni, all that.
Rather do Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Christmas.
Yeah. All right. What's one thing that people don't know but need to know about DJ Myers?
Let's see. Extremely driven. The journey has been a long one, but I've never given up. A lot of people say that I'm serious, but it really is just the passion of the game. And I carry myself like I want to be on the next level already. So you talked about the XFL earlier and the NFL earlier. Yeah. I carry myself like I'm already there. I try to be as professional as possible, so when those opportunities present themselves, I'm ready for them.
I mean, you do, because I'm sitting here like,
yeah,
loosen up a little,
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I love this game, man, and I'm not, I don't take it seriously to the point where I don't enjoy it. I enjoy it so much, and you can see that in Bane too. He can tend to come off serious and passionate sometimes too, but he loves the game, and it's unmatched. And passion shows in all types of different ways, So that's what I would say.
All right, well, DJ, we're
hella passionate.
Glad to have you here. Appreciate your time. Like I said, get back out there and kill it, man.
Appreciate
all
you,
right.
my man.
All right, so that was TJ Myers. It's just such a fun interview, really. Like I said, I mean, he really, like you said, he carries himself like he's at that next level already. I mean, he's very professional. I always enjoy that. Like I said, he's always the first guy kind of comes around, says hey to everybody, on game day. So it's great. And actually, the song he mentioned, I don't know. Like I said, I looked it up. I was actually listening to it. I meant to do it earlier, but I was actually listening to it while the interview was running. I was like, okay. So Gina's got pretty good musical taste too. I'm gonna start asking everybody that so I can kind of get a little insight on everyone's musical taste and see how that holds up. Again, like I said, Kendrick Ings was who he nominated to do this next. We want to know, you can let us know in the comments down below or in an email who you want to see do the sit-down interview in the future. You can always email us. Like I said, that's at jb2mediapro@gmail.com. It'll be down in the show notes below. And while you're down there, you'll also find all of of the Carolina Cobras social media links. And if you haven't, you can go follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I think there may be a link for their TikTok or Snapchat, one of the two down there as well. But like I said, that's definitely the place you're going to find all the best information for the Cobras on a day-to-day basis. So, let's see where we are here. We've got this. We do have some real questions to ask about the Carolina Cobras right now. One of the main things is going to be is how are they going to buckle up after this? Again, this is kind of the lack for a better term there, the snake bite side of not having those bye weeks built into the season. The Iron Man situation, everybody's brought it up time and time again, how injuries are going to add up. Injuries are going to be the big thing. And here we are, week 10 going into week 11, and Carolina is in need of a quarterback right now. At least for the moment. Again, there's a lot of different scenarios of how this could go. But personally, I still think it's not quite the time to panic yet. Still, Carolina still leads the league, and the important thing is too that 5-game winning streak to start the season. A lot of people look at that and kind of frame it as maybe this team's not as good as we thought they were. No, I don't think that's the case. At the best it would be a maybe that's the case, but honestly, I think it kind of shows some of the tactical advantages that the coaching staff were able to take advantage of early on in the season, because that 5-game cushion was crucial to start. It was crucial to get Carolina where they are here now, without the bye weeks, and it's still paying its dividends, because right now, without that streak, you take it away, Carolina could be anywhere from 6-4 to 3-6 at the worst. It's kind of playing the long game, and like I said, that's something that I think Coach Rez and the rest of the staff had to think about coming into the season. That injuries would be the biggest X factor, and getting a hot start to the season was very important. Again, now it's time for them to buckle down and kind of grind it out for the last 4 games. God forbid if Jonathan Main's not ready to play next week, the coaching staff does have options. They can find a Band-Aid quarterback somewhere that's out there, to sign. Or they've got this whole week to work on getting James Summers ready to be a starter, if it comes down to that. Again, I don't think, we've seen James Summers start a game last year, I believe. I think he started a game, or at least played some heavy minutes. But again, no problem with that. Again, just being thrust into it in the last 10 minutes of the game and knowing that's on your shoulders may have been a factor. But I think if you come in with the mindset of you're starting, that's your position from the get-go, I think it lends itself to be helpful. Again, right now, Carolina is I'm not going to say they're trending down. Again, it's been a little bumpy the past few weeks, no doubt. Up and down wins against, Jacksonville, and then, like I said, that loss there, the loss against San Antonio last night. But again, you take those two, the Columbus loss being the worst one in that stretch. But the other two, against Jacksonville at home and San Antonio on the road, both of those games combined were lost by 3 points. So again, it's not really, looking by the numbers of the standings and seeing the 3 in the loss column, doesn't really tell the whole story of this team. And I think, again, the 5-game winning streak kind of tricks a lot of people into saying, oh, this team's supposed to be undefeated, or, when they do lose, that it's, it's the doom and gloom, sky is falling situation. That's not the case at all. Like I said, this is where a lot of the other teams in the league are finding their footing. Like I said, over the past couple weeks, Albany, they've also fallen off in the past 4 games. They've lost 3 of their last 4. San Antonio has won 3 straight now. Orlando, I think they're like 2-3 since week 5. So, like I said, again, this is partly, Carolina having a little bit of issues. Nothing major, but again, a lot of the other part is that the the league around them are ramping up to meet them. And again, Jacksonville, they're like 4-1 right now since week 5. So like I said, at the halfway point of the season, they've won 4 of their 5 games. So again, everyone else, the competition is going to get a little stiffer. It's playoff time, and every little bit helps right now. So we'll see what Carolina does. Is there anyone that we could think about that's out there that could be a viable option if Carolina needed a Band-Aid quarterback to come in and try to play these last couple games, or how many ever, Jonathan Bain would be out for? Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone immediately that would be readily available, but I'm sure there are guys out there that, like I said, the coaching staff would be ready and willing to evaluate if that need comes. But we'll see. Slide over here and see. And again, like I said, you look at Carolina right now, as I mentioned in that interview with DJ Myers, right now they've got 3 guys sitting solidly in the 400-yard range, like I said, 300 plus, 400 plus. And James Summers himself is in at 296 yards. Again, this is something you're not seeing around the rest of the league, where the ball gets spread around like that. So again, that's going to benefit whoever. Like I said, if we put it on the table that there has to be, there's going to be a change at quarterback. Like I said, that Jonathan Bain say he doesn't participate the rest of the season. If it's James Summers, if it's somebody else, again, you look at it, there's still 3, 4, 5 guys that are wide receivers that can make a difference for any quarterback that comes into play. So again, I'm not too worried about that part. Like I said, if it's James Summers, he knows some of the packages more in depth probably at this point than somebody that we'd bring in into the mix. But again, I'm not worried about it because we have got enough receivers to spread the ball around and make things happen. Again, we see James Summers is incredibly mobile, and he's able to move around in the pocket and, again, make those quarterback sneaks. And, of course, we always have Zach Brown in the back waiting to be fed that ball and get his chance for a rushing touchdown. But the flip side of all that positivity is that Carolina is going to have a brutal schedule to close out the season. The last 4 are going to be incredibly hard right now when you're considering playing the second place and currently, like I said, 5th. All scheduled to change maybe today as Columbus plays in Albany today. But again, it's going to be very tough. That last schedule, 2 games at home. You play Columbus both times. And then, again, you've got 2 road games, both in Jacksonville, one of the hardest places to play in. Hey, Gina, thanks for commenting. Glad to see you. Hope you're enjoying the beach. Yeah, I miss having you on today, too. It's always fun to have somebody to bounce these ideas around with. But thanks for commenting and tuning in anyways. So, like I said, we look forward to seeing you back next week. Again, yeah, so those 2 games at home against Columbus, 2 games away against Jacksonville, playing potentially the second and 4th. Like I said, they're playoff teams. Let's just put it that way. All these last 4 games are essentially teams against playoff teams. It's going to be rough. The only good part about it, like I said, is if Carolina can figure out what they're going to do at quarterback, if they need to make the change, or what's going to happen with that's going to be the biggest factor right now. We talked about it before that Carolina, even can end with and it's not off the table either. They could still end with a regular season winning record against everybody in the league, pretty much. I think San Antonio is the only one that's off the table for. Again, because they went 1-1 with them. They win with Jacksonville and 2 wins with Columbus here to close out the season. If they win 3 of those games in the right order, it's pretty much a winning record against everyone except the Gunslingers. So I wouldn't worry too much. Again, right now we talked about it a few weeks back that Carolina, the 2018 team that won the championship, they were 10-6 or 10-5. 5's that magic number every year that the Cobras seem to lose 5 games every single year. But again, right now we're 2 under, so we've got 2 games in hand, I think, before that panic kind of sets in. But we'll see. We'll see exactly what happens. Again, like I said, the Carolina Cobras are going to be playing at home this Saturday night. That's going to be July 2nd against the Columbus Lions before they go down, play Jacksonville, and back home again with Columbus. So it's going to be tough. It's not the ideal situation. Again, you never want the injuries to be the reason that these teams don't perform. And it's rough, especially when you start to look back. If you do say again, something goes sideways here, and you have to look back and say, well, what if we had a bye week? What if you start picking apart little things? And I think people overthink it sometimes, but we have to sit back, kind of roll with the punches right now. I think that's the biggest thing for the Carolina Cobras to do. Again, like I said, right now, tons of possibilities in different scenarios for them. Playing this home game against the Lions, it's kind of a toss-up right now because, again, the Lions are waiting to get their game underway here at 2 o'clock in Albany. So you got to let that unfold first and kind of be able to see where Carolina sits or where the Lions sit either. Like I said, again, if they come off of a loss this week on a Sunday and then they try to turn around and play a game 6 days later, if it's a win, then like I said, they're going to be riding that high a little bit. But again, if they lose, they may be looking for, again, getting back in the win column. So it's hard to tell what you're going to get until it happens. So like I said, everyone should plan on tuning in for that. Like I said, pull for Albany right now. That's the playoff scenario that Carolina needs more than anything. Let's see. I think this is going to be a shorter episode this week, like I said, without Gina to bounce stuff off of. We're going to go ahead and do the ticket giveaway here. So like I said, if you are interested in a 4-pack of tickets to see your Carolina Cobras this Saturday night at the Greensboro Coliseum, they're going to play that Columbus Lions team. You can email us at jb2mediapro@gmail.com. Like I said, we'll be contacting the winners from that. Like I said, make sure you email us so we can get that in. Like I said, it's kind of going to be a raffle of anybody who enters. So again, get your entry in. You can have 4 free tickets to see the Carolina Cobras take on the Columbus Lions, and that's going to be a great one. Again, it's going to be interesting. I think the final thing to really think about heading into the week ahead of the weekend is that, again, we're going to see what comes out if the Carolina Cobras sign another quarterback. If they are able to, like I said, utilize James Summers or Jonathan Bain, if he's available for this week. Like I said, we don't know. We have no idea what the extent of the injury may or may not be. Again, it looked a little rough, but it may just have been, it may have just been something in the moment. Again, we'll see. That's the main thing, is keep your head on a swivel and see what the Cobras do as far as that's concerned. I think that's going to wrap it up for us here this week. We appreciate everyone that tunes in. Thank you, and watch a pretty big appreciation to DJ Myers for giving us a little bit of time this weekend. Again, thoughts and prayers with Jonathan Bain. And we'll see everyone later. As like I said, make sure you tune into the National Arena League YouTube channel. That's where the broadcast will be for the Columbus Lions and Albany Empire. Again, game that has some type of implications for your Carolina Cobras. So tune into that, and we will see you all next week. Thank you.